Welcome to the Register's Report. My name is John Buckley. I'm the Register of Deeds of Plymouth County, and this show is about Plymouth County real estate. Our headline for the month was Midsummer Doldrums. This is a show being taped in August. We're going to be reporting on the July recordings at the Registry of Deeds. I have a great guest in the second segment of the show talking about vehicles like trusts, and particularly those when people get older, what they need to do to protect themselves for their ownership of their assets. And then we'll get into some of the Plymouth County and Plymouth Colony history. So let's go to the numbers. The first image you're going to see is of deeds. You can see it's a bumpy ride. Our number of deeds in July were down from June. There were 644 deeds recorded in July, down from the 815 in June. Clearly, real estate has been slow. We're down about 20% lower than last year, and the marketplace is very slow because the average sale price is very high. Interest rates have become very high from the lows of the 3% a couple of years ago, and that really has had an effect on the volume of the real estate market. You'll see a show of a listing of all the sales by community. There are 27 communities within Plymouth County. From Abington to Whitman, there are 26 towns and one city, the city of Brockton. But you'll see the number of activity, the number of sales for each of these communities. And Plymouth and Brockton have the highest number of sales traditionally, but you'll see that every single community has some sales within it. The biggest impact of the higher interest rates has been with mortgages. So you can see the drop in mortgages over the last couple of years. There were many people that were refinancing a couple of years ago. Because of the higher interest rates, going from 3 again to around 7 currently, people just aren't refinancing their mortgages. There are still many people using mortgages to purchase homes, but the refinance market has just dropped out completely. There were 1,067 mortgages recorded in July, down from the 1,269 in June and the 1,274 in May. But I think we're going to see a low number of refis well into the future until the rates come down significantly. So we always follow foreclosures. Since the crisis in 2008, there was a moratorium on foreclosures during COVID, and the growth in foreclosure deeds has not really come up to where it was before. You can see there were only 8 foreclosure deeds throughout the whole of Plymouth County in July, and it was a little higher 2 months before that. These numbers are historically very, very low. Anybody that finds themselves in difficulty, particularly when you're at the foreclosure notice stage, should reach out to a federal housing counselor to try to modify your loan. And you'll see on the notice graph coming forward, even those are very low. Throughout Plymouth County, there are only 36 foreclosure notices recorded, and they're down a little bit from June and May. But again, those are very historically low numbers. But you have to be proactive when you own real estate. But if you find yourself in trouble for a health issue or an economic, maybe a job loss, or one of the incomes in your household has been lost, you really have to protect yourself and take advantage of any opportunities you can. There are groups like NeighborWorks out there that'll help you try to modify your loan. But don't wait, take action. So the last issue here you're going to see in this segment of numbers is foreclosures in orders of notice by community for the month of July. You can see there's still a lot of zeros out there. Brockton, Plymouth, and Wareham have usually had the highest numbers throughout Plymouth County traditionally, and you'll see some of those numbers are higher than others. You can see, for example, Abington at the top, 0 notices, 0 foreclosure deeds. But again, everyone has to be conscious that there are people out there struggling that may not be able to hold on to their home without help. So I always like to tell people there is a free fraud alert service at the Registry of Deeds. You go to our website, plymouthdeeds.org, go under resources, and you'll see fraud alert. And you can sign up with an email so that anytime there's a recording, you get an email and you'll know maybe it's something you want to be recorded, like a discharge of your mortgage you paid off. But if there isn't, you get a heads up on what you may need to take advantage of if somebody's trying to access your resource. So it's very important to be vigilant when you own property. For most people, it's their most valuable asset, and we try to help people along the way.